Remember to subscribe and don't forget to hit the bell icon to never miss an update from First Cry Parenting.
Controlled crying, baby sleep training method. Babies usually wake up at night to feed, but sometimes they tend to indulge in persistent, long-term wailing for no apparent reason. This crying can prove very exhausting for the parents, preventing them from getting rest and sleep. What is controlled crying? Controlled crying is a sleep training technique that aims at teaching a baby to self-settle in the night to improve the quality of his naps. The purpose of the controlled crying technique is not to pat, stroke or reposition the baby while crying, as this can inadvertently encourage the crying behavior. It involves checking on the crying baby at regular intervals to reassure him of his caregiver's presence. At what age can you try controlled crying sleep training for your child? Experts generally advise controlled crying after 6 months of age. It is not advisable to use this technique for babies below 6 months. How to use the controlled crying technique. 1. Ensure that your baby is properly fed, burped, and has a fresh nappy on before he is put in the cot. 2. Shower your baby with lots of kisses and cuddle him. Dim the lights and comfort him by talking in soothing tones until his eyes begin to close. 3. Tuck him well and leave the room. If he starts crying the moment you leave, let him cry for a minute or two before reappearing by his side. 4. Try comforting him by talking gently or patting him on his back. But don't gather him in your arms or brighten the lights. 5. Wait for him to settle down. Again, leave the room. 6. If your baby starts crying again, lengthen the duration by letting him cry for 3 to 4 minutes before going back in. Repeat the calming gestures to reassure him. 7. Every time your baby cries, stretch the crying interval by a few minutes but do not let it exceed 10 minutes. 8. With a bit of luck, your baby may get the message and gradually fall asleep. Replicate this every day for a week for expected results. Controlled crying versus cry it out. People may misinterpret controlled crying as leaving their baby to cry for extensive durations until he eventually drifts off to sleep. However, controlled crying means you let your baby cry for an established time length, normally short, before offering him assurance and comfort. Allowing a baby to cry it out to sleep is cruel and can lead to possible health issues for the baby. How long does this method take to work? Usually, it takes about 3 days for babies to absorb a new parenting system. But in some cases, it can take up to a week to manifest. Tips to make controlled crying work. 1. Be patient. Implementing this method can be quite challenging as your baby will resist strongly before accepting your way. 2. It is advised you seek your partner's help to share the pressure and strain of the entire exercise. 3. If leaving your baby to cry for 2 minutes seems difficult, begin with shorter timings. Remember to increase the time intervals. It is always sensible to discuss any concerns you may have with your doctor before opting for this method.